So we are going to do today engine electrical systems. A typical Barner type aircraft terminal strip is made of paper-based siliconic compound. The stationary field strength in the direct current generator is varied according to the load requirements. Why is a constant speed drive used to control the speed of some aircraft's engine-driven generators? So that the frequency of the alternating current output will remain constant. Aircraft electrical wire is manufactured in size according to a standard known as American wire gauge. Starter brushes should be replaced when they are worn down to 1/2 the original length. When the starter switch to the aircraft gas turbine engine starter generator is energized and the one engine fails to rotate, one of the probable causes would be starter solenoid is defective. What is the basic advantage of using AC for electrical power for a large aircraft? AC operates at a higher voltage than DC systems and therefore uses less current and can use smaller and lighter wire gauges. Which federal aviation regulation specifies that each resettable circuit protective device requires a manual operation to restore service after the device has been interrupted? The device has interrupted the circuit. Part 23. The part of a DC alternator power system that provides reverse flow of current from the battery to the alternator is it reflects the current. The reflector. The constant current method of charging a nickel-cadmium battery is the most effective in maintaining cell balance. Why is it necessary to flash the field of the exciter on a brushless alternator? Permanent magnets are installed in the main field poles. In order to reduce the possibility of ground shorting the circuits when the connectors are separated for maintenance, the AN and MS electrical connectors should be installed with the pin section on the ground side of the electrical circuit. What type of lubrication may be used to aid in pulling electrical wire or cables through conducts? Soapstone. Electrical wires larger than 10 gauge use uninsulated terminals. Electrical wires smaller than 10 gauge use uninsulated terminals. Oh, no. 2 isn't true. 1 is true. So electric wires larger than 10 gauge use uninsulated terminals. Electrical wires smaller than 10 gauge use insulated terminals. I messed up. What is the amperage rating of a stored battery that is designed to deliver 45 amps for 2.5 hours? Uh, 4 times 2.5 is 112.5. Electrical switches are rated according to the voltage and current they control. When does the current flow through the coil of a solenoid-operated electrical switch? Continuously, as long as the control circuit is complete. According to the arcing at the brushes and burning of the commutator of a motor may be caused by a weak brush spring. A high surge of current is required when a DC electrical motor is first started. As the speed of the motor increases, the counter EMF builds up and opposes the applied EMF, thus reducing the current flow through the armature. A term commonly used when 2 or more electrical terminals are installed on a single lug of a terminal strap is stacking. How many hours will a 140 amp hour battery deliver 15 amps? $9.33. In a 28 volt system, what is the maximum continuous current that can be carried by a single number 10 copper wire 25 feet long, routed in free air? So 28 volt, 25 feet long. $25 feet long. I was wrong, but yeah, 35 amps. Oh, you know what? Free air. How many basic type of circuit breakers are used in a power plant? 3. When installing an electrical switch, under which of the following conditions would the switch be derated from its normal current rating? When using direct current motors. If a generator is malfunctioning, its voltage can be reduced to residual by actuating the generator master switch. Aircraft wire size is determined by using a wire gauge. The generating system of an aircraft the generating system of an aircraft charges the battery by using constant voltage varying current. An aircraft copper electrical wire is coated with a thin silver or nickel in order to prevent oxidation. Alternators, AC generators that are driven by constant speed drive CSD mechanism are used to regulate the alternator to a constant hertz output because they go by frequency. The resistance of the current return path through the aircraft is always considered negligible, provided the structure is adequately bonded. The frequency for most aircraft's alternating current is 400 Hz. The most effective regulating aircraft direct current generator output is to vary according to the load requirements, the strength of the secondary field. When selecting an electrical switch for installation in an aircraft circuit utilizing a direct current motor, a derating factor should be applied. Electrical protective devices are rated based on the amount of current that can be carried without overheating the wire. A trip-free circuit breaker makes it impossible to manually hold the circuit closed when excessive current is flowing. Both 1 and 2 are true. What two types of AC motors that are used to produce a relatively high torque? 3-phase induction and capacitor start. Electrical current protection devices are installed primarily to protect the wiring. On-off 2-position engine electrical switches should be installed so the on position is reached by a forward or upward motion. One way that the automatic ignition relight system are activated on a gas turbine engine is by drop in compressor discharge pressure. When a 28-volt, 75-amp generator is installed on an aircraft, an electrical load analysis ground check is performed, and it is determined that the battery is furnishing 57 amps to the system with all electrical equipment operating. This indicates, so the generator's 28 volt, 75 amps, and everything on is 57 amps. The load will be within the generator's load limit. The maximum allowable voltage drop between the generator and the bus bar is 2% of the regulated voltage. Generator voltage will not build up when the field is flashed and solder is found on the brush cover plate. These are most likely indications of an open armature. Alternators are rated in voltage and amps, which is the measurement of apparent power being produced by the generator. Alternating current has the advantage over direct current, and that is voltage and current can be easily stepped up or down. Both are true. Which of the following federal aviation regulations require that all aircraft using fuses as the circuit protective device carry one separate fuse or three spare fuses of each kind required? Part 91. As the flux density in the field of a DC generator increases and the current flow to the system increases, force required to turn the generator increases. According to the electron theory of the flow of electricity, when a properly functioning DC alternator and voltage regulator is charging an aircraft battery, the direction of current flow through the battery is into the negative terminal and out of the positive terminal. Which of the following aircraft circuits does not contain a fused circuit breaker? A starting circuit. What are the rotating windings of an aircraft alternator usually excited, or how are the rotor windings of an aircraft alternator usually excited? By variable direct current. By a variable direct current. A certain direct current series motor mounted with an aircraft draws more amperage during start than when it is running under its rated load. The most logical conclusion that may be drawn is the condition is normal for this type of motor. What type of electric motor is generally used with a direct crank engine starter? A direct current series wound motor. What precaution is usually taken to prevent electrolyte from freezing in a lead-acid battery? Keeping the battery fully charged. What is the smallest terminal stud allowed for an aircraft electrical power system? 10. What is the purpose of a reverse current cutout relay? It opens the main generator circuit whenever the generator voltage drops below the battery voltage. Which of the following is regulated in a generator to control the voltage output? The field strength, or the strength of the field. The following data concerning the installation of an electrical unit is known. Current requirements for continuous operation: 11 amps. Measured cable length 45 feet. System voltage 28 volts. Do not exceed 1 volt drop. Cable in conduct and bundles. What is the minimum copper electrical cable that can be selected? So we got 11 amps, 45 feet, 28 volts. So 28 volts, 45 feet, right in the middle, 40 and 50. And it's 11 amps. 45, 50, right in the middle. $11 amps. So we're going to go with this larger one, which would be a 12. What is the maximum number of bonding jumper wire that may be attached to one terminal grounded to a flat surface? 4. Upon what does the output frequency of an AC generator alternator depend? The speed of rotation and the number of field poles. As the generator load is increased with its rated capacity, rated capacity, the voltage will remain constant and the amperage output will increase. The maximum number of terminals that may be connected to any one terminal stud in an aircraft electrical system is 4. What is used to polish communicators or slip rings? 00 sandpaper. The times current capacities of a circuit breaker or fuse must be below those of the associated conductor. The reason for flashing the field in a generator is to restore residual magnetism to the field frame. Bonding jumpers should be designed and installed in such a manner that they provide a low electrical resistance in the ground circuit. An aircraft that operate more than one generator connected to a common electrical system must be provided with aircraft operating more than one generator connected to a common electrical system must be individual generator switches that can be operated from the cockpit during flight. What device is used to convert alternating current, which has been induced into the loops of the rotating armature of a DC generator to direct current? A communicator. If the points in a vibrator type voltage regulator stick in the closed position while the generator is operating, what will be the probable result? Generator output voltage will increase. What federal aviation regulation requirement prevents the use of automatic resetting breakers? Oh my god. Okay, so 91's Jesus. Part 23. Whew. Electrical motors are often classified according to the method of connecting the field coil and armature. Aircraft engine starter motors are generally of which type? Starter motors or series. What must an 8-pole AC generator turn to produce 400 hertz? So 400, I think it's 400 times 120. Oh shit. 400 times 120 divided by 8. 6,000. 6,000 RPMs. When installing electrical wiring parallel to a fuel line, the wiring should be above the fuel line. Most modern aircrafts use circuit breakers rather than fuses to protect their electrical circuits. Part 23 requires that all electrical circuits inoperative Part 23 requires that all electrical circuits incorporate some form of circuit protected device. Only one's true. Got one wrong. Gotta go for that one. Follow the 25-foot horizontal line and the 1 voltage drop, 28 volt. Approximately midway between the digital line from the 30 amp and 40 amps. That means that a 10 gauge wire can carry 35 amps or 25 feet and not have more than one. tin, copper, 25 feet long. Long. Oh shit. I looked at the wrong one. I looked at 30 when I did it. I scrolled over. So 25 is 35. Okay, I fucked up. Anyway, 98.5, almost ready. Only have to memorize a little bit more.